Happy Thursday, everybody. It's Chamber check-in time. And today I get to share a cool story of a chamber member company called USA Insulation. And I'm with Nicole Lansdell. Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Paul.
I'm so excited to hear your story and for you to share the USA Insulation products and services and what you guys do. But first, I get to thank our series sponsor for these events. It's Delta Dental of Idaho. Nicole, as you know, Delta Dental has been providing dental insurance benefits to Idahoans for over 50 years. Their insurance benefit packages are designed and backed by the largest network of dentists in the country. And with that, I get to show a fun factoid from their Tooth Truth series. Here we go.
Did you know that kids laugh around 400 times a day and adults just 15 times a day? Lighten up, adults.
I love that one. We do need to
I do too. I'm like, wow.
Those are fun. I love those. But anyway, hey, USA Insulation came into the market and made a big splash. And today's event is to share your guys' story, the origin story of USA Insulation, and to meet the people behind. So with that, Nicole, why don't you just kind of introduce yourself, and kind of your background and how you landed with USA Insulation.
All right. So my name is Nicole, and I am the office administrator and the very first employee that Jeff Stoker, our owner, hired. So kind of central to everything. I answer all the phones. Gosh, you name it, I do it. So schedule appointments. I've even helped him with a little bit of HR stuff because I have an HR background. Used to be with Winco for 20 years. So I have some of that customer service as well as far as my history and my past. So did a little bit of life changes and left Winco, and as searching for a job that was family friendly, as well as something that would challenge me. I found this job. So, and I just was really drawn to it just based on Jeff's his morals and his standards and his plans. When he interviewed, he didn't interview with the traditional standard interview questions. He talked about, personal goals and things like that. And I was really attracted to that as far as taking a job with USA Insulation. So, and it's exciting to grow with the company. So,
well, I think it's the only USA Insulation in the state of Idaho. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yep.
Okay. And franchise?
It is a franchise. Yes.
And how many are there across the country? Do you know?
That I don't know. I do know that, they've done quite a few homes over probably, I think it's over 90,000 homes, been around for 35 years. A lot started out in Ohio. So there's quite a few there. Actually, I totally lied to you. I believe we have one in Coeur d'Alene.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That also opened up around the same time as we did.
Okay. Awesome. Well, like you, I had a great experience when I met Jeff for the first time. When I came out for your grand opening and ribbon cutting, I was early, and I got to spend about 45 minutes with Jeff and the team prior to anyone else showing up. And so I got to take a deep dive into the history of kind of his family and the business. And he's an entrepreneurial mind at heart. He's definitely has a work ethic, and he's very tenacious as well. There's some other things that he's got boiling as well, as far as business ideas. But I digress. Let's talk about what USA Insulation is. So Nicole, tell us if I had no idea what you guys do, tell us that just the description of the product and service.
Okay. So we specialize in existing homes, a lot of homes older than 1980, because those homes didn't have all the standards of inspections and things like that. So some of them have no insulation, or the insulation has broke down. So we do have to have walls up. So we can't do new construction or things like that. We have to have what's called a closed sale, so sheetrock and then the outer walls. So what we have is a premium injection foam. So it's not the same thing as spray foam. Whereas spray foam, they spray it on the walls before the walls are closed up. So we take, and typically it's from the outside of the home, and drill about a 2-inch hole in the outside of the home. And so if there is siding, we'll take the siding off. Brick, we drill through the mortar with a different nozzle. So essentially we go from the outside of the home where we can leave no trace, so to say, and we inject our tube in there, and it fills from the bottom to about midway, and then we turn the hose and it fills to the top. So essentially you're getting your entire cavity filled, because it'll go around your hoses and your pipes and electrical work and things like that. So you're getting a complete fill of insulation in that wall cavity. It does have a little bit of shrinkage, like 1%, but you need your walls to breathe. So that's the reason for that. So that's the big product that we offer. And then we also do blow-in insulation in attics, a fiberglass blow-in that can just fill right on top of your current insulation if you have it, or it'll just fill that up. But we find the walls is where most of your energy comes out of. So, and it's all environmental friendly. Our guys don't have to wear any kind of special suits or anything like that. Fire rated at one, and then it also repels bacteria and water. So you're not going to get those mold issues and different things like that with our product.
I saw you guys have a sample wall that you shoot the foam into to kind of to show people how it works.
Right.
And it's like a shaving cream
it is
consistency. And then I saw how it does. What you said is exactly right. It seeps into all nook and cranny, all the way up. And I thought it was brilliant how engineers can figure out this stuff. And
exactly, yeah. And it's all made right here in the U.S. It's our resin and our foaming agent all come from our main area office in Cleveland. So yeah, it's a pretty good product.
When I thought, when I walked in the warehouse, there wasn't a lot of inventory that you had to have on hand, because it's something you mix on the truck.
Yes. Yep. Right? They mix it right there. It's the resin, the foaming agent, and then water, and they mix it right there on the truck. Big garbage cans, and then it goes through the gun into the walls.
One of the questions I asked Jeff when I was first talking with him, I said, how many homes don't have insulation? And he was like, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I'm like, here in Idaho where we have 4 seasons and it's cold? And he's like, Paul, there are so many homes that were built, I think you mentioned before a certain year, maybe 1985, didn't have any insulation. And I was also reading on your website that the Department of Energy had suggested for new builds to make sure that for energy savings that builders put insulation in their homes. What can you add to that?
So yes, that's true. So I get all the initial calls, and I hear the customers or clients, we call them pain points. So even some of these newer homes, they might not be insulated as well. So recently, I don't know if it's because everybody's like staying home lately or whatever, but the most recent calls I've got is a lot of, I can hear my neighbors, I can, hear traffic, different things like that. So there's the soundproofing part of it. So even newer homes, some of them don't necessarily have the greatest insulation. And they're still saying things like, I'm still having problems in this area of my home, the ones that face the sun the most of the day and things like that. So yes, it's definitely true. And we have a lot of older homes in our area. So I think that's what kind of propelled Jeff to go with this product rather than the spray foam, because there is those existing homes. I don't know if he told you the story, but they bought a 1900s home and didn't want to tear out all their walls to do that. And there was nothing like this around at that point. So that's kind of what drew him to it.
Well, another thing that was interesting to me is when I walked into your warehouse, you have an office space, and when we were talking earlier, and you were hoping that the echo wasn't loud, and I didn't hear an echo, and I
Right.
think it's probably because you guys use the spray foam in
We
your own
did.
walls, right?
Yes. Yep. We did. The guys, we just started, so we do have a few down days and things like that. And we were kind of noticing that our air conditioner was coming on a lot and it wasn't really regulating very well. And so the guys one day just did all my walls around the conference room and Jeff's office and my office, and it is warmer right here for
That's great.
sure. Yeah, so I could definitely tell that that it does work. And then we've had some really great stories. Just the quickest, one of the best ones that I've had is I had a person with a townhome. They have a roommate, and each roommate has a TV on their wall. So the owners and the roommate, and they can turn their TV up to 60, and they can't hear them.
Wow.
Yeah, so soundproofing is another good thing in addition. She can hear less creaking in her walls. I guess she could hear creaking at night. They have really high walls. And then we just did one this last couple of days, and I got a text message from her saying that she's already feeling a difference in her house. In the morning, it wasn't as cold. So we're getting those testimonies right away.
That's awesome. So you're saving some money.
Yep.
Right? You're keeping people a little bit warmer.
Right.
And some sound deafening qualities.
Yep.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we covered everything. Is this for commercial, residential, or just residential?
Just residential.
Okay.
Where we don't have quite the big enough equipment to do commercial, and most of the injection foam does need to be for existing homes and buildings. So yeah, it's just residential.
But for an outfit like y'all's, where you're at, you do have those walls in your commercial property. Maybe
right.
That's something, there's a lot of businesses out there that, are saving some money and are in a warehouse line of warehouses, right? And wherever you're at. And maybe that's a good opportunity for some insulation for their team.
Exactly. Right now we have done, one or two walls in different homes and things like that. Garage walls, a lot of new garages aren't insulated. So I had a lot of calls like that in the summer. Guys wanted to work in their garage and it's too hot. So we got some good feedback on that as well.
Okay. Hey, we've talked about why insulating, but I also saw on your website ReInsulating. Let's talk a little bit more about that for maybe folks that think that they are good with what they have.
Right. So one thing that we do, just to kind of go back in the process a little bit, is we do free in-home consultations. And one of the things that our energy consultant will do is drill a hole in the wall, usually like in a closet or something where you're not going to see it. And then we have a camera that we can put in there, and he will see if there's insulation or if there's not, that type of thing. But the great thing is that we can inject insulation over, like the cellulose insulation kind of breaks down over time. So it'll just fill in all those cracks and crevices. Or if you have like that traditional bat, that pink insulation, it will just move that aside and just kind of fill in that. So it can go over existing insulation.
So you have the technology to investigate the quality of your current insulation, and then you can re-insulate.
Exactly. And then for the attics, we just blow over the top of whatever they have to bring them to the right R rating, which still confuses me a little bit, but it has to do with all that energy efficiency.
Yeah, it's so important. Hey, so I've got your website and your direct contact information scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Let's say you get a few phone calls. How booked out are you on service? And about how long does it take to do a normal size house?
Yeah, so as far as consultations, we're about a week. We just did the Boise Home Show, so that got us quite a few appointments. So Scott is our main energy consultant. And then as we grow, obviously we're going to hire more people. That's really important, as far as being in the community and providing opportunities. Like Jeff has already talked about me being an office manager at some point, and that's where I'm going to go, right? So we're about a week out, and then probably about a week, we're getting to where we're about 2 weeks out on jobs. Average for a home, about 1,500, 1,600 square feet. We can usually do that in a day. Could take anywhere from 8 to 10 hours because it depends if we're doing the attics. Attics are really fast. That usually only takes the guys 2 hours or less. And we've had some of those jobs where it's attic only.
Awesome. Well, hey, we're coming close to the end of our time,
Mm-hmm.
but I wanted to express something to the audience today about the quality of people that you guys are. When I first met with Jeff, and you guys had your ribbon cutting, you not only joined the Boise Metro Chamber, the Nampa Chamber, the Caldwell Chamber, the Middleton Chamber, the Meridian Chamber, the Star Chamber. We were blown away at that investment because you guys know how to go to business. When you invest in the community that you serve, it only comes back tenfold.
Exactly. Yeah.
Where does that inspiration come from how did you guys know to get involved with your community on that level?
So I'm not a native Idahoan, but Jeff is, and even though I'm not native, I absolutely love this place. We've been here for 13 years, and I think it just has appreciation of the community and that small town vibe. Jeff is from Declo or something. I think that's where. So he's been here. He also has another business in the community. He does in-home healthcare. Through a business that he has in Middleton. So I think it's just that family, grassroots type of mentality. In addition, one of the things I've been most impressed about is the franchise and their support and how they're like family too, and things like that. So I think it's just a matter of, like you said, serving our community. Like Jeff says to some people, they're like, I don't know what I want to, if I really want to do this. I heard him have a conversation with somebody at the Idaho Fair. We said, we're here to educate and help you. We go into your home and we see that you have an attic full of insulation. We're not going to, take your money. So he just has some really good standards. And I know personally, I love our community, and I know Jeff does as well. In fact, he's out there on an install helping the guys. So that's his ethic. He's not just sitting back with his feet on his desk. So
that's awesome. I think it's awesome. And it's so good to be able to share your story today on this platform, help get the word out. So if anybody's listening and they want to know if they need insulation, give Nicole at USA Insulation a call. Their number and websites here. They're going to do the right thing when no one's looking. And thanks for taking your time with us today, Nicole.
My pleasure.
Awesome. Hey, enjoy the holiday weekend with the family, and I look forward to our next conversation.
Sounds great. Thank you, Paul.
Bye.
Bye.